Let's go meet her. Traya's core.
At last you have arrived. Is Malachor as you remember?
Malachor has not changed. Only you have. Or has she?
Indeed. Perhaps it is merely your perceptions of me that have changed. It is strange that you believe Malachor has not. But it has always been timeless to you, this place, and words have always been inadequate for the horrors that took place here.
Why me?
Perhaps you were expecting some surprise, for me to reveal a secret that had eluded you, something that would change your perspective of events, shatter you to your core. There is no great revelation, no great secret. There is only you.
Could have chosen other to die.
No, there were not. In times past and in times future, there are Jedi who will stop listening to the Force, those that will try to forget it, but maintain unconscious ties, and those, as in the past, just as I, who have had the Force stripped from them, but no Jedi ever made the choice you did, to sever ties so completely, so utterly, that it leaves a wound in the Force. It was a mistake to try to make you feel it again, I see that now. There is no truth in the Force. But there is truth in you, Exile, and that is why I chose you.
Why did you destroy Atris? Although I don't think she did. Atris destroyed herself.
I never destroyed Atris. She had destroyed herself. I merely stripped away the illusion and brought her truth. Her teachings could not be allowed to continue, and like Malachor, she was part of your past, unresolved. She needed to be something you could confront and defeat one last time. It was part of your training, part of what was needed to make you complete. And there must always be a Darth Traya. The galaxy needs its betrayers, especially in the times to come. She loved you, you know, as one loves a champion. You were all that she could not be.
She never mentioned such feelings. Yeah, I had thought she had nothing but contempt for me.
Yes, it is all that is left unsaid upon which tragedies are built. More echoes traveling through the Force.
Why have you done this?
It is said that the Force has a will. It has a destiny for us all. I wield it, but it uses us all, and that is abhorrent to me, because I hate the Force. I hate that it seems to have a will, that it would control us to achieve some measure of balance when countless lives are lost. But in you, I see the potential to see the Force die, to turn away from its will, and that is what pleases me. You are beautiful to me, Exile. A dead spot in the Force, an emptiness in which its will might be denied.
I think I know the answer to this, but if you hate the Force, why do you use it?
I use it as I would use a poison, and in the hopes of understanding it, I will learn the way to kill it. But perhaps these are the excuses of an old woman who has grown to rely on a thing she despises.
Any interesting option? I don't want to mention the mass shadow generator. it seems to me sort of like a villain's exposition. It's a option we have, but there's no need to tell the opposition about it. You were manipulating me all along.
Yes, always. From the moment you awoke, I have used you. I have used you so that you might become strong, stronger than I, and I used you to make those who wounded me reveal themselves so they could be killed by the Republic.
So you used me to get revenge on Cyan and the others.
I used you to keep the Lords of the Sith from condemning the galaxy to death with their power unchecked. I used you to lure them to Telos, where they could be at last fought and killed. I used you to reveal Atris's corruption so that her teaching could be ended before it began. I used you to gather the Jedi so they could be destroyed, and I used you to make those who wounded me reveal themselves so they could be killed by the Republic.
Yeah, pretty much what we guessed once it became clear what Traya was. So what happens now?
The apprentice must kill the master. If you do not, I will kill you. If I do not, then all you have achieved will be as nothing, as empty and as violent as Malachor itself.
I will not fight you. She's not gonna give me the option. Let us end this. Traya. I wonder if we can do the lightning spam on this too. Everything else has already died to it. I hope not, but we'll see. This shouldn't be too tough. I don't think this is all she can do. Her saving throws are very good. We're not doing all that much damage, but it's still reliable damage. We're hitting every strike. That's the strength of the dark side force abilities. Even if you make the saving throws, you're still taking damage. You need resist, and she has none. I wonder, I want to try, how much damage do we do if we, we can't keep doing this. I'm running out of horsepower. Horsepower regen during combat, yeah, let's start. Can I use force free? Oh crap. I don't think she has any defenses really. Oh. Yeah, she doesn't have any defenses. We'll use life support packs as healing. Yeah, 90 points healed, that's good enough. Yeah, we have to try something else too. So we'll do regular combat for a while. Let's recover force points. I think this won't be the end of our fight against Traya. I was thinking of maybe we could do the same thing. Yeah, but it's not worth it. She can heal more than we can drain, so we'll lose that fight. I guess we'll do the force lightning spam. Yeah, we can do more damage to her than she can heal. I think she's out of force points now. Use the Verpine shield and finish her. I don't need your teachings anymore. I have defeated you both in mind and body.
Then finish this. Kill me. Strike me down, and at last, end this.
No. This is already over. Life is yours. You cannot teach me anymore.
You will not show me mercy. I will see you break before you do.
Heal for 1049 hit points. We can target the individual lightsabers too, but I don't see any point in that. Verpine shield activates. And spam attack. How much? Yeah, I think the blades have pretty much equal hit points to Traya, so we can't just get rid of them. They have weaker saving throws though, so they'll go down first. We will need to Verpine prototype shield. Why did you do that? Heal, continue. Well, the blades are going to be destroyed fairly soon. They're also somewhat stuck, not all of them can attack us. That's good. Shield, heal, continue spam. Yeah, it's all over.
You are greater than any I have ever trained. By killing me here, you have rewarded me more than you can possibly know.
I've defeated you, you are no longer my master, and my path is my own.
It is your choice. I had hoped you would follow Revan's path, but you and Revan are different, and your path is your own. You may take one of the ships that orbit Malachor and depart this place, or you may remain here on Malachor and wait for the others, those touched by the Force, who will come in time. Or you may return to your exile, where your presence will no longer affect the actions of others. There is no dishonor in any of these choices. I only ask that you make the choice without regret.
About my friends.
Many things do I see as I gaze here from the heart of Malachor. This place channels such energies. If it matters to you at this last moment, I shall look into the future and tell you of what I see. It is my last gift to you, from one exile to another.
What will happen to my friends?
You travel with them for so long, yet you do not know them still. Feel them through the Force, feel what they feel, hear their thoughts and know them as I fought to know you. They were the lost Jedi, you know, the true Jedi upon which the future will be built. They simply needed a leader and a teacher.
Tell me of Myra.
She will stop hunting life and instead live it. She was not born to be a predator, despite her true father and the life she led within the shadow of Nar Shaddaa. She will miss you and think of you often. You who awakened her to what life is. She will live, but only for a time. Her death will occur in many years' time on a forgotten planet, saving the lives of others. But it will be her choice, and she will have no regrets.
And the Lord?
Many battles does that one have left in him, as Revan intended. A general needs an army as he needs those he trusts. And Canderous is a loyal beast, no matter how much he is broken upon Revan's will. But you know this.
What about the Mandalorians?
They will die a death that will last millennia, until all that remains is their code, their history, and in the end, the shell of their armor upon the shell of a man too easily slain by Jedi.
Visas.
The blinded one shall return to her home world, and she shall look upon the surface of that world, and perhaps at last see what she was meant to see. Her life has been changed by your meeting in ways that may not be felt for decades to come.
Did I save her?
Salvation is a relative thing, but as you understand it, yes.
Disciple?
He cannot help but love you in his way. It is a pure, ideal love he holds, yet somehow it never dulls in your presence or through your actions. If he leaves this place, he will leave the galaxy behind him. He will sit upon the new council, reluctantly as all good men do, and he will not forget the Jedi who had lost the Force, yet showed him the way to reclaim it. After that I do not know. I do know that you must leave him behind, the same choice that Revan made. Where you are destined, you must not take anyone you love. And of the ones who traveled with you, that is all I see.
What about Atten?
Atten is, as always, the fool. And the Force watches out for one such as him, I feel, as it does for the old such as I.
And you?
I would have killed the galaxy to preserve you. I would have let the galaxy die. You are more rare than you know, and what you have taught yourself must not be allowed to die. You are not a Jedi, not truly, and it is for that that I love you.
Theater droids.
Their paths are unknown to me, even the small one who waits for you outside this place. I sense it has one last journey for you. You must go where Revan did, into the unknown regions, where the Sith, the true Sith, wait in the dark for the great war that comes.
And Revan, he came here, was here. What happened to him?
It is because he remembered what lay buried here, this place, its teachings. It paved the way to Korriban, you know, the remnants here. And because Malachor, like Korriban, is on the fringes of the ancient Sith Empire, where the Sith wait for us in the dark.
But we fought the Sith.
Have we? You thought that the corrupted remnants of the Republic, the machines spawned by technology that Revan led into battle, were the Sith? You are wrong. The Sith is a belief, and its empire, the true Sith Empire, rules elsewhere, and Revan knew that the true war is not against the Republic. It waits for us beyond the Outer Rim, and he has gone to fight it in his own way. And he left the Ebon Hawk and all its machines behind, for he knew he would not need them. And like you, he knew he must leave all loves behind as well, no matter how deeply one cares for them.
Why?
Because such attachments are not the way of the Jedi, and they would only bring doom to them both in the dark places where he now walks. It would have helped had he made her understand, but she was always strong-willed, that one, and did not understand war as Revan did.
Why did you not follow him?
Because I did not know where he had gone. If he had asked, would I have gone? I do not know. But he will need warriors, Sith and Jedi, any who can be sent after him into the depths of space, for any who know the way. Perhaps you shall go there with him and do battle at the end of all things. Instead, I remained here, and now show others the way.
What of the Republic?
The Republic will fall, as it always has. A fall that will take millennia under the care of the herds of Ithor. The surface of Telos will bloom again, and its golden fields shall again harbor scientists and thinkers. And complacent and peaceful, it shall forget the time that Saul Karath orbited it and brought fire to its skies. But it shall be a home world again to others who will stretch out across the galaxy and bring life.
But Dantooine.
Dantooine shall survive. The community you saved shall be the foundation upon which Dantooine shall be habitable again. They shall drive back the Raiders, the Mandalorians, and all that strike at the Outer Rim. The Republic shall again establish their presence there, and shield it with its forces. And Dantooine shall heal, be safe, and its skies free. The ruins of the Academy shall remain.
Nar Shaddaa.
Nar Shaddaa shall persist as it always has, but there will be a heart to the world where there was nothing before. Where once the lost and disposed were trapped there. Now they will struggle and grow. From despair shall come hope.
Onderon.
Queen Talia shall have a long reign. Much good will come of it. She will, as she has, rule wisely and well. Onderon shall remain in the Republic, and the world shall prosper, though its people shall, over time, lose their customs in the ocean of the Republic and become the people of Onderon no longer.
Korriban.
Korriban shall be as it always was, a graveyard for the darkest of the Sith Lords, still whispering within their tombs. It shall always be a source of evil, spawning threats throughout the millennia. It, like Malachor, brushes the edges of the Empire that waits in the dark. And like Malachor, the Sith have forgotten it. For a time, they will remember. Revan knew this.
But our allies.
You travel with them for so long. Feel them through the Force. They were the lost.
Okay, we've gone through all this. Yeah, your time in this place is over.
Need any company? I mean, I'm not doing anything. Besides, if I'm not around to bail you out of trouble, who knows what could happen. Alright then. Where are we going again? I mean, because last time we were heading towards this mining colony on the edge of space, and there was this Sith Lord, and...
Uh, yeah, I'm skipping that. Copyright infringements are aplenty if you play Star Wars music in your games. Uh, I don't actually even mind the claims, it's just that some claim holders mute your videos automatically if they detect that, and there's really no good way to get out of it, so it's better to avoid getting detected at all. So, Knights of the Old Republic 2. It's a very different beast than the first one, although it's naturally has very strong similarities. Just like with the first one, I'd say the game is too easy. We played on a normal difficulty, and I feel like I played some kind of a easy mode. There was no proper fighting at any point of the game. Maybe with the storm beasts, but it could have had because they did a lot of damage in a single attack. So if you had a different sort of a build on your character, maybe that could have provided trouble. But that's still a single area in a long game, so the difficulty balance, at least on normal, is poor. It's trivially easy to play through this game. On the positive side, the actual fighting game mechanics and things like that are not the strong point of the Knights of the Old Republic game series anyway. So it's the story, the characters, what you can do, what you can influence, and this is, as I said, a different beast from the first one. The first one was a very typical story. It's a good one, relatively well told, and it has a satisfying ending. This is more of a I guess, exploration and finding out type of game. There is sort of a similar arc, but it's more of a if you ignore the discussions with Traya and things like that, finding out about the Force, dark side, light side, influencing others, things like that, this is a clearly inferior game to the first. The main story and dramatic plotline, it's a very typical, very average without it. But on the actual discussions about the Force and things like that, influencing others, they are much better than in the first one. So it's a different flavor of game. Very typical to Obsidian. So try to get the player to think. That's a lot of what their developers do in their games, and it depends which one game. How do you prefer your role-playing games? That's probably decides which one of these you like the more. And I'm not sure which I like more, to be honest. Yeah, I think they're both good ones, but they're good ones in a bit of different way. The biggest problem here in this game, as far as gameplay is concerned, is that I guess there's power creep. The things are sort of balanced at low levels, but at high levels, even before reaching level 20, things have sort of broken down already. If you go above that and you use the weapon upgrades, it's totally broken. Absolutely broken. There's no real resistance anymore. You're so overpowered compared to anything that you get thrown at you, so it doesn't really matter. I can't see the difficulty level changing things too much. You probably take a little bit more damage, and the fights are even more tedious because enemies have more hit points. Because the difficulty level doesn't change all that much. But I still think you would be better served by playing this on the hard difficulty unless you are truly new to the game series, and D&D 3rd edition. If you have any experience in either, I would definitely recommend hard. Might be difficult, might cause few casualties at the early game, but after that, well, you could probably can change it in the middle of the game. Yeah, but I still, it would probably be a better overall experience. I can't see it being much worse. No, unless you really like to play sort of a games just for stories and don't give a crap about the gameplay. Still, you don't see many games where the villain is part of your own party. In a believable way, even. He was never as a strong ally, he was always a teacher, always pretty clear that she wasn't. Her teachings were pretty clearly safe. So it's not like it's a huge sudden reveal that you don't see it coming, it's more a natural progression, what you already suspected. So yeah. And with the restoration content mod, which I do highly recommend if you want to play this game, it patches out a lot of the problems that the original release had. To an extent, I think you can realistically patch things without trying to totally do your own thing on top of the existing game. So yeah, highly recommend it. Still like the experience, but as far as role-playing games go, there are better ones. As far as game mechanics go in role-playing games, there are better ones, but this is still quite an enjoyable mix of the two, and the setting is quite good. Yeah. Still like the first one, still like the second one, but I can't say these are my favorite role-playing games of all time, at least. They're certainly good games. I guess the problem with these are they haven't aged all that well. They were, I would have to say they were in the top 10 list even when the time was when they came out, but now this one is not really. I do like it a lot though, but because of the unfinished content problem. It could have used at least a few months more to polish things through and finish up the extra content, and it might be there. The first one, it's definitely not a bad game, but it also relies quite heavily in the enjoyment of it lies because it's so railroaded that you don't know already what's going to happen. So the impact that it makes, the positive impact, was the highest as the first time we played, and on later playthroughs it gets diluted because you know what's coming. So you don't have all that many options to deviate. So the more you remember about the game, the less enjoyable it is because you can't get off the rails. But yeah, I rambled long enough about this. Still solid games, recommended if you are at all interested